Okay, you're standing in an elevator. It's a bit crowded, sure, but there's plenty of oxygen. Then the doors hiss shut. Suddenly the walls don't look like brushed steel anymore. They look like they're inhaling. You feel the ceiling beginning to sag, just an inch or two. And the air, the perfectly fine, filtered air, suddenly feels like it's being replaced by lukewarm soup. Your collar feels 3 sizes too small. Your heart starts to do a drum solo against your ribs. Every rational part of your brain is screaming. There's no exit. You're buried alive in a metal box. You know logically that the doors will open in 30 seconds, but your body is already preparing for a life or death struggle against a piece of machinery. You aren't dramatic and you aren't weak. You're experiencing one of the most intense, primal glitches in the human operating system. Welcome to the truth about claustrophobia, and why your brain's space barometer is actually a high-tech survival tool that just happens to be set to maximum sensitivity. Now, to understand claustrophobia, you first have to understand that you don't stop at your skin. Your brain actually projects an invisible force field around you called peripersonal space. Think of it like a biological buffer zone. This isn't just a feeling, it's a literal map in your brain, specifically in the posterior parietal cortex. This area of the brain is constantly calculating the distance between you and the objects around you to prevent you from bumping into things or getting hit. In people with claustrophobia, this buffer zone is often much larger than average. Your brain isn't just seeing the walls of the elevator, it's feeling them as if they're already touching your skin. When someone or something enters that oversized bubble, your brain triggers a code red. You aren't afraid of the room, you're reacting to a perceived invasion of your own personal territory. Here's the cool part about why the air feels like it's running out though. Your brain has a built-in suffocation alarm. This alarm is located in the amygdala, and its job is to monitor the carbon dioxide levels in your blood. But in claustrophobic individuals, this alarm is hyper-responsive. When you feel trapped, your stress levels spike, causing you to take short, shallow breaths. This minor change in breathing slightly increases your CO2 levels. In a normal brain, this wouldn't matter, but in a claustrophobic brain, the amygdala sees that tiny CO2 spike and screams, "The oxygen is gone!" It's a false positive. You're surrounded by air, but your brain has hijacked your sensory input to make you believe you're breathing through a straw. It's not a lung problem, it's a software error. Why are we so specifically afraid of small spaces? Well, because of our ancestors. Being trapped was almost always a death sentence. If a cave collapsed or you got stuck in a narrow crevice while hunting, there was no 911 to call. Survival depended entirely on your ability to fight or flight. Claustrophobia is essentially a high-torque version of that survival drive. Your brain is trying to force you to stay in open space, where you have the best chance of spotting a predator or escaping a fire. The panic you feel is actually explosive energy. Your body is dumping adrenaline into your bloodstream to give you the literal strength to break through a wall or shove people out of the way. Your brain isn't trying to scare you, it's trying to turn you into a human bulldozer so you can reach the safety of the horizon. Now, get this. Recent research has found something even more fascinating. Claustrophobia might actually be a perception distortion. Studies show that people with claustrophobia often underestimate the distance of objects in their near space. When you look at a wall 2 feet away, your brain might tell you it's only 6 inches away. This is called spatial perception bias. You aren't imagining the walls closing in, your visual system is literally rendering the world as smaller and tighter than it actually is. It's like looking through a camera lens that zoomed in too far. You're fighting a distorted reality, which is why just calming down feels impossible. How can you calm down when your eyes are telling you that the ceiling is touching your hair? Though, if you want to conquer the box, you have to stop fighting the walls and start talking to the security guard in your parietal cortex. The most effective way to do this is through systematic desensitization, but with a cognitive flip. Instead of just enduring the small space, you have to prove to your brain that the suffocation alarm is a liar. This is where biofeedback comes in. By focusing on long, exhaling breaths, you manually lower your CO2 levels, which sends a physical signal to the amygdala that says, "The air is fine, stand down." Another hack is to expand your horizon. When you're in a tight spot, don't look at the walls. Look at the furthest point possible, even if it's just a crack in the door or a mirror. By focusing on deep space, you force your brain to recalculate its peripersonal map, which can literally push the invisible walls back and give you room to breathe. The truth is, claustrophobia isn't a sign that you're boxed in. It's a sign that your brain is obsessed with your freedom. It's an ancient, fiery protectiveness that wants to make sure you always have a way out. You aren't a victim of small spaces, you're a creature built for the open sky, carrying a very sensitive compass. Now, once you understand that the suffocation is just a glitch and the closing walls are just a lens flare in your mind, the elevator stops being a tomb and starts being what it actually is, just a ride to the next floor. You have all the air you need. You have all the space you require. You just have to remind your brain that you're the one in charge of the map. So if this look into your inner architecture helped you breathe a little bit easier, hit that like button and please subscribe to the channel. We're here to help you tear down the mental walls, one insight at a time. I'll see you on the next one. Now take a big, deep breath. The world is wider than you think.